Just on to B3, public comment. Before we begin public comment, I just feel it's necessary, not for myself, but for the benefit of my constituents, to support me in the last election, as well as for the benefit of the community county-wide I represent on the numerous committees I serve on. I'm going to quickly address something that was unfortunately made big news in last week's newspaper for whatever reason, regarding my eligibility. For some reason, this becomes a point of contention, and some people just can't get over the fact that we have more than one residence. So we do have two homes, which one of them is outside of our district. It's never been a secret. It was mentioned in my campaign, and especially after I won my seat. And it's true that in order for my kids to compete and follow their dreams in sports, and me to follow my dreams and serve the county that for 16 years I've called home, and I'm deeply committed to. We do live somewhat of a split life, and it's not easy, it's difficult, but we do it. They're doing what they want to do, and for the next 9.5 months, here I'll continue what I set out to do. My 3-year-old, all he's known his whole life is there's mommy's house and there's daddy's house, and sometimes it's a little embarrassing at the grocery store when they'll say, "Dad, when we go into mommy's house?" And so anyhow, that's how it is. This June it'll be 16 years that I've lived here in Milford, and I've enjoyed almost every minute of it. This has been home. This is where my kids have grown up, where they've learned how to ride their bicycles, their motorcycles, learned how to ski on the trails across the road. And again, I think it's unfortunate that it was portrayed how it was, but it is what it is. So I don't want this to be an ongoing distraction. And when I'm done here, this is going to be the last of it. We're going to spend time in the boardroom here. The issue of school was brought up. My kids have went to Janesville during the years, several different grades. Most recently, last year, my son was enrolled in Janesville School. At years, they've homeschooled. We have a unique situation with our life in sports and what we do, so we're not the typical. I think my commitment to Lassen County speaks volumes about where my home is. For 14 years, I've dedicated myself. I've dedicated, my time, money, energies to promoting the county and being the best citizen I know how to be. And it's been a great learning and growing and challenging experience. But that speaks volumes about where Larry Wosick lives. Approximately 1 month ago, we sold a portion of our property, the one where I've enjoyed living for 16 years, and I'm currently living in a temporary residence. I knew this would be an issue, so I looked into it beforehand, and I like to refer to county council that reads from the Secretary of State that pertains to my situation. There's a paragraph.
Sure, Mr. Chairman. The Secretary of State website does state your voter registration record should always reflect your current residence. However, if you've moved from your home into a temporary residence, you can continue to use your prior permanent residence where you are registered to vote as your address for the purpose of voting. And his voter registration is his qualification for being a supervisor in his district. So that address is spot on what Mr. Wosick is going through.
Thank you. I'm residing outside of my district, and there seems to be a provision for that, and that's that. It's not a secret, and I've made it public, and that's the situation. Again, it was an unfortunate decision, I think, on the part of the, to try to make this into a story that it isn't. it doesn't serve anybody's best purpose. But so, with that said, I know my biggest challenge lays ahead. For the first time in several years, my wife and I are going to be forced to live in the same house. Every night, night after night. So we'll see how that goes. I look forward to the next 9.5 months to continue the work that I've started some 3 years ago, working with the board. I'm enjoying it, and I look forward to pressing forward, being a part of this year's budget, being a part of the swimming pool, and being a part of all the committees I serve on. So thank you for the time I've taken. And so with that, I'd like to move